Streaming cyberspace into your place from Southern National Motorsports Park, it's the Virtual Grip Network's live as it happens, seventh round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model Invitational Series. You know, this 32nd season started with season 30 champ James Lowe winning the first quartet of races. Lowe was evicted from victory lane at Oswego when Chris Davis was first to the checkered flag, and the Victory Lane Homeowners Association prevented Lowe from moving back in with the help of Ruben Altice's win last round at Lanier. Nevertheless, Lowe's championship point margin on the field has increased, and if anyone is going to prevent Lowe from capturing his second crown, that effort can ill afford to wait any longer. And merely finishing ahead of Lowe is probably not going to be enough. Lowe is going to need to falter at least a little bit. So pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the excitement that is the simulated short track racing action about to stream your way. From the Tar Heel State, a warm hello and welcome on this Saturday night. It's November 15th, 2025. Returning to my side is my old partner, Jeremy Gridlock Scott. He joins yours truly, Bill Susan, high up in the VGM press box to bring you our words eye view, the boss man, Lowell Jewell. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. All right, Jeremy, we've crossed the halfway mark. We start into the second half of the season, and we go to Southern National.
Yeah, Southern Nationals, we're watching a little bit of practice here. Not as banked as we see with most circuits, but it's going to be actually pretty interesting to see what happens. So far, we've had, let's see here, 19 cars clock in with time. So it's going to make life a little interesting for several drivers.
Looking at practice time, electric boots, Benny Ellison sitting up there second fastest. Somebody to watch. He's going to get re-grid back into the back of the field because he didn't race last time. Let's take a quick look at the points, if we could, before we get into the gridding of the field. James Lowe, of course, hasn't when he doesn't win, he hasn't finished any worse than second or third. Chris Davis has a win, and he also has a no-show. That's why he's a little farther back from Lowe than he would like to be. A win last time out jumps the quiet man, Ruben Altice, up 2 spots into third. Adam Shane has finished second twice. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson is still hunting his first top 10. Not the case for John Wilson. The Canadian Goose finished into the top 5. 3 out of his last 4 races. He's been hot of late. Since the birth of his last child, Todd Liston has been a shell of his former self, a cautionary tale for all. Cucumber Kurt Smith is coming off his season best. That was a third. The same for Mike Holloway, although Holloway only finished 6th. Holloway moves into the top 10 in the points, but sadly, I don't think he's going to be here tonight. And then rounding out the overlay, beneath his moderately priced toupee is the younger of the Hilbert brothers, Tom. There you have it. Usual fare here tonight, 100 laps. Have to go home with the same girl you brought to the dance, so finish on the same tires you start with. No fast repairs, but you can come in and get some repairs, whatever they can do, without going a lap down. They got the lucky dog.
Sorry, was erupting there for a bit. Okay. And also, just one green white checker attempt. We're not going to keep you all night.
That's a good one. And of course, it's the grid is set not by qualifying, but they invert the baker's dozen from the top baker's dozen from the last race. Switch them around. If you finish 13th, you'll be starting on the pole. If memory serves, and I'm getting old, so this always can come back to haunt me, seems like it is the Chief, Steve Hilbert, who'll be starting on the pole.
Well, Birdie told me that. So, yeah, once again, we'll see if Hilbert can capitalize on that. Well, the past couple of times that he started up front, that he's led a good portion of the first half of the race. We'll see if that bodes well.
Yeah, I like what Steve does when he gets up there. He'll drive hard. He may not have anything at the end, but he's going to race up front and post those laps out in front.
So that'll do it for the warm-up session. Yeah, Benny Olson's still second fastest. Though quick time is no surprise here. James Lowe with the 14.345. course, that means about as much as the gambling debt that I may or may not have down at the Riverboat Casino.
You had a little tough time there in the Oklahoma game today?
I wouldn't have had a tough time with that. Now, the Bears game, that's a different story.
Oh, well, you should know better than that. All right, they're going to grid up. We'll give it to you a row at a time. And as we mentioned earlier, it is the former police chief of Plain City, Ohio, Steve Hilbert, starting on the pole. He's going to be inside of a man who's got a bit racing with the red mist here. What we call in poker, he's a little bit on tilt. Talking about Adam Shane. He'll be starting outside of row one. Look for him to get to the lead and hold it.
You could say he has a chip on his shoulder, poker chip.
Yeah.
Todd Liston will be alongside Chris Hazlip in row two.
Double Deuce Bruce Pearson and Brendan Myers. That's where the chip is aimed at for Adam Shane. Will be starting in sixth.
Oh, Myers should know what the car looks like, so at least he'll be able to stay away from it.
It's ahead of him.
Yeah, exactly. Darryl Weininger will be alongside the Canadian Goose, John Wilson, in row four.
Filling up row five, it's Kurt Smith and your points leader, James Lowe.
Last week's winner, Ruben Altice, will be alongside Tom Hilbert in the 25. Lawmaker, sorry.
There we go. Then I got Tom Hilbert in the Baker's dozen spot with rookie Kyle Feemster in the 14th position.
Then you've got Mark Herzog alongside Jeffrey Harden in row 8.
Brandy, his better half, watching. Chris Davis sitting second in the points. He's got a long way to go back in 17th. Man who was second fastest in practice. Watch out for him working his way through the field. Electric boots himself, Benny Ellison.
And shotgun on the field is replay, Ryan Seneker. Field getting underway through turn 3. The pace car will take the hard left here, coming off of turn 4. A little bit tighter pit entry for most of these drivers that we've seen. But again, it is Steve Hilbert's race to call, and it is. Green flag is out, and there we go. Adam Shane trying to go high, wide, and handsome. He's going to lose second place as Todd Liston dives to the inside.
Yeah, he took it in really deep. Wanted to get around Hilbert. That didn't work, and then he lost the inside line. That let Liston get underneath them. But nevertheless, Adam Shane going to tuck into third. So all things considered, didn't lose a whole bunch of spots. Now back behind him, oh my goodness, getting way up, that is Chris Hazlip. Yeah, I think he was 3 wide for a while. There's a battle. Let's look at this. Ruben Altice is on the inside and losing ground. That is Brendan Myers.
Yeah, you don't go 3 wide here in the late models, and somehow they made it all work without a caution as Ruben Altice making his way. We have a battle for the lead as Liston goes to the inside. He's going to grab that lead across the line.
My goodness, it did not take long. I thought that Adam Shane would get there quickly, but Liston got the best of Shane, came from the third position to get in behind Hilbert, then made that pass. Adam Shane back there. Shane has a reputation of coming from the back of the field. Unusual to see him start so far up. Look at Double Deuce Bruce Pearson, the car in 4th place right now. There you see the leader. There's Pearson. He's been working on the back of the 79 of Shane.
Once again, Double Deuce with that lime green paint scheme, not hard to miss, and really looking pretty good up at the front, trying to hold off Darryl Weininger for that 4th spot as tries to close in on Adam Shane. Shane slaps the wall coming off of turn number 4. No harm, no foul, though. Shane wants a piece of Hilbert. That's for 2nd place as Liston has a comfortable advantage going through 3 and 4.
We look at it there. It's weird to see Pearson work so hard early. He likes to lay back and take it easy. But I think the fact that he's got a guy who's really aggressive behind him, coming up, working through the field. Now, watch, here comes Ruben Altice. He got the win last week, Adam, and so now he's feeling it. He's on the inside of Cucumber Kurt Smith.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The Quiet Man's really good when he's hot, and looks like that he is hot. Of course, doesn't help when you've got the stove behind you, flaming thing. Then it's James Lowe we're talking about in the 99.
Indeed, the 99 back there. Smith drifts up. You see him go underneath you right now. Altice trying to keep that inside spot. They come off of 4. And now, good drive off from between 4 and the first corner. Now, here comes Lowe underneath Altice. Short-lived.
Yeah, it's going to be short-lived. I think passing is going to be at a premium here as, you got to force somebody up high once again. It's just a case of trying to close in on somebody and making them make that mistake and take that high line going into either 1 or 3. And we know that the quiet man, he's really good at defending that low line. He tries to get Kurt Smith, but here comes James Lowe to the inside of Altice through 1 and 2. He's going to get the spot for the time being.
There. I think that inside line is going to prevail. That's going to let Brendan Myers try to sneak in underneath as well. Altice stuck to the outside. Altice was working his way. Look at Ruben fighting back, though. He's pinned low down. I think maybe Altice can race a little more aggressively, knowing that he's racing low to the inside. He can be confident that James is going to drift up into him. Aunt Mary watching. That's one of the disadvantages that your nephew has, Aunt Mary, is that people race him harder because they respect him.
Yeah, but that would require Altice to kind of change up his driving style. I just don't see that, though. The past couple of laps, I have noticed he has gotten aggressive up on that high line and almost getting into the path of Kurt Smith. So we'll see how long that lasts. Brendan Myers poking a nose to the inside of Altice. Not going to make anything happen, but Kurt Smith trying to make sure that Lowe doesn't go to the inside, and it might be too little too late.
I think low to the inside of Smith is a different dynamic than low to the inside of Altice, who has that win last time out. Feeling pretty good. Not much going on up front. They're still racing like they are. Quickly, can we go back and give a little love to my fellow booth mate, or at least production mate? Ryan said, oh no, right in front of Seneca. They spin. Oh, talk about a commentator's curse. I think they made a spun before we actually got him on camera.
I'm still calling it a curse just to see what replay has to say. That is our first caution. We'll take a look at that as let's see if car gets loose and
now, a little help from Davis, I think. And there was Seneca. Seneca was up 6 spots. Oh my God.
Well, that was something.
Yeah. All right, buddy, you've had a hard day. You've been at the game, so go ahead, find somebody you'd like to talk to.
Let's talk to Todd Liston, our leader so far in the number 87. As, it's great to see him up at the front. And Todd, it's Jeremy and Supith in the booth. Got to be pretty good looking out the front and just seeing the pace car for the first time in a while.
Yeah, we'll see if we can last the whole race here on tires. I've not had a very good track record this season keeping tire wear down, so we're just going to try to keep pacing, so be there at the end.
Okay, now, I don't want to draw any connections or make any conclusions, but the rumor is that your production, your racing performance has kind of dipped ever since the birth of that last child. Does that have anything to do with it, or am I just stirring things up?
There's always ups and downs. We'll be back.
All right. The kid will grow. All right, good luck, man. Go get him.
Thank you.
Now, look, I like Todd, but honestly, hearing him talk, that didn't sound like Todd. That sounded like robotic Todd Liston.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
That's a storyline to watch out for later in the race. As we're back to green once again, Todd Liston getting up high, defending off of Steve Hilbert. Adam Shane now taking the inside line. He'll go for second place. Of course, you have Weiner and the 22 of Double Deuce Bruce Pearson side by side for position. Lots of racing here in this top 6.
Gotta give a tip of the hat to Hilbert. I remember when Steve first came into the league, he would start up front, and it would be a hold your breath type of thing right now. Man, he is racing good. We're a quarter of the way through the race. He's hanging up there in third. Now look at the race going on behind. Let's watch the 11 of Brendan Myers. He's to the inside of the points leader, James Lowe.
Yeah, and he's in prime position. Of course, now we'll see Ruben Altice go low. And, of course, look at Pearson kind of slowing up your points leader around 3 and 4 with Pearson with a little wall slap. And now Lowe is trying his best to get up to the front as Pearson kind of holding back just a little bit.
Aunt Mary, your nephew James right now, he's stuck out there. The best thing that could happen to him is for Pearson to get ahead of that blue car there, or Brendan Myers maybe duck down in there, make a racing lane for James Lowe, but that's not going to happen. Myers in the 11 continues to fight to the inside. Look at how he keeps the car tucked down on the inside line, doesn't drift up into Pearson, Pearson has comfortable. It's the double ones against the double twos right now, with a pair of guys watching on. Ruben Altice back there looking for a line to go. Lowe stuck on the outside, and now Pearson does clear Brendan Myers, but now Pearson moves to the top side as if he is intentionally trying to stay in front of James Lowe.
I'm wondering if that top line is starting to come in with those two constantly running up top there. So you have the double two, the double one, and the double nine all running together with the quiet man kind of figuring out which line he wants to go on. And so far, it looks like that middle line is indeed starting to hook up.
If you're new to the sport of auto racing, they talk a lot about corner exit. Look how Bruce Pearson in the number 22 goes all the way to the top, then he dips down because he has no one to his outside. Then he can let the car drift right up, go all the way to the top. He's using all of the track, making his, not only is he going quick that way, but he's also saving a lot of tire wear. Meanwhile, Lowe back there, who's in that battle with Brendan Myers, they are having to race narrowly. They only have half the track each to work with.
And, I'm kind of watching it, and, you see how some of the guys are what's called diamonding off the corner, where they hit the apex in one, go a little high, and then hit the apex in two. Pearson's taking more of a road racing approach, which you and I are very familiar with, where he's just going right for the apex and then swinging out. I like that here at Southern.
Oh, my goodness. Lowe almost gets into him. Now Lowe moves to the inside. Brendan Myers is going to be stuck on the outside. This has been a good battle. Ruben Altice is back there watching. If you were at the track right now, this is where your eyes would be. You would take your expensive binoculars and put them right on these cars and watch the racing. This is what's going on. Up front, I can just tell you that Liston has not been able to run away from Adam Shane. We'll get to that in a minute. Shane's going to make a move in a minute. But right now, this is where the action is. Drifted up Ruben Altice. The battle Altice alongside of Brendan Myers. Those two guys, all the horse-and-anny going on. Horse-and-anny? Horseplay. I don't know what horse-and-anny is. But whatever it is, it's slowing them down. They bump again.
Oh, hootenanny, horseplay.
Horse-and-anny, yeah. Oh, no, somebody's spinning. I see smoke.
Oh, could that be our leaders with issues? And it might be, as Pearson falls back just a little bit. Herzog involved once again, and we are back under yellow.
They was watching the cars, and they came up, and there was smoke on the track. There you see it.
Ryan.
He was having such a good race, and then things have gone. Now, there's the two leaders. Was there an incident? No, look at this. They went through the smoke. Oh, my goodness, the leader did get it. Was that Liston that got some of that?
Yeah, Liston got some of that, but I want to know how that started between the two, because, yeah, we see that come a little late. Was it Seneca or was it Smith that started that? Yeah, nothing there.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so then that happened with Weininger and Ellison involved in that incident, but that wasn't part of what happened. We see that afterwards.
Very slow caution flag as they go, and they avoid that. Nice job there. Then they go around. I'll tell you right now, they're not going to be able to bury Herzog in a Jewish cemetery because he got tattooed. Oh, my goodness. I think that's the end of Mark Herzog's night.
Well, since our producer couldn't find it, Soup, why do you say we call up Replay and get his take on things?
Okay, who are we talking to?
Replay Ryan Seneca. Let's bring him up. We have a policy. We have a policy where we don't. Actually, we're going to go back to green here, so we'll talk to him later. We don't have a policy where we don't talk to the driver, cause the caution, but it's only Replay. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Todd Liston, Adam Shane in the front row, Daryl Weininger, Steve Hilbert in row 2, James Lowe, Brendan Myers, row 3. Pace car jumps off the circuit. 41 laps complete when they cross the line. Green flag is back out. Liston with a little bit of damage on that right side. Soup, let's see how it affects him.
Oh, he's out there in a Sherman tank going to the inside. He just smashed into Herzog. I can't imagine that the 87 is going to feel good. Look at now. This is Shane. He knows he's got a wounded duck in front of him there, and he's working now. He gets underneath him. Adam Shane looking to pick up that spot.
Yeah, Shane going to do all he can to get up to the front. We're back under yellow.
All right, this one involves the Canadian Goose. I think he checks up a little bit, and Alan Wanamaker looking for somewhere to go, gives him a little bit of a spin. That is Tom Hilbert involved in that one.
Jeffrey Harden's involved.
Brandy, sorry about that.
Now Ryan's in the pits. We won't bug him. Let's call up. You go ahead and Soup.
Looking at Jeffrey Harden's livery, he's got USS Enterprise on there. I believe it's the real aircraft carrier, not Captain Kirk's Enterprise. Let's go ahead and talk to. Well, let's try Adam Shane. Excuse me there. Adam, it's Soup. You got a copy?
Oh, I always have a copy for you, Soup.
All right, I thought you had him there. A little bit of untimely yellow. I thought you had the pass made, and then you're going to have to try it again.
I sure am. I'm trying to save my stuff.
Well, it's easy to do when you keep having all these cautions, and looks like you might have a little bit of an easy time because Liston's a little bent up from that previous caution.
Yeah, he is. But I'm trying to save my stuff, but everybody else behind me is saving their stuff, so this is not really working out for my favor.
Hey, you can't take it with it. Spend it now, baby.
Ah, I got you.
All right, good luck. You know, my dad taught me that saving your tires is like saving your money when you're trying to pick a girl up in the bar. You want to spend it early while the pickings are ripe and the competition is steep. You don't want to wait till the end when all you really need is a cheesy line and a stick of gum.
That's where I went wrong. Green flag is back out. Todd Liston still with the advantage. A little bit of wiggle there from Wanamaker. We'll see if that incident that he had earlier is going to come back to bite him. Here comes Shane. He's going to dive back to the inside once again. Liston shuts the front door on him, but here comes James Lowe. High, wide, and handsome off of turn number 4. He's up to third, getting around Darrell Weininger. He's having a great run in fourth.
You know, Yogi Berra coined it deja vu all over again. James Lowe just does it everywhere. There's turmoil going on. Somehow the 99's never caught up in it. And then about this point of the race, halfway through, you find him, he's in third. And he's put himself in position. Here goes Shane to the inside to get the win. There's the pass that we thought was going to happen.
Well, it's like, you know, back in the days when Jimmy Johnson was winning everything. Kevin Harvick coined it the golden horseshoe. Not sure if that's what's going on with James Lowe or what, but it's better be lucky than good.
How about Darrell Weininger? We haven't given him a lot of shout out right now, racing in fourth. Up 3 spots from where he started. Lowe having a little bit of issue there, got a little bit of squirreliness. Weininger does a good job of getting on the binders. Oh, your points leader thought he saw an opening that wasn't there.
Well, what a rare mistake. Goes to show us that James Lowe is human indeed. The past couple of weeks haven't really proved it either. Everybody kind of single file now as we look out the back of Adam Shane as he sees the rest of the field behind him coming off of turn number 2. Lights starting to take effect here at Southern National as look at the clag down there at the bottom of the apron. There's just a lot of that, but so far so good. Everybody single file running nose to tail quite nicely.
Oh, I know what's up with Lowe. It really wasn't his fault. Todd Liston is out there racing for his life right now. The car is horrible. And I think that's what caught Lowe by surprise because he knows Todd Liston. Liston, as I say, his car is worthless. He makes a move right now on Adam Shane. I think Shane just trying to mind the gap. He's got Liston behind him. He would prefer Liston stay behind him. If he can keep it like this till lap 99, that's what he'd like to do. But man, the 87 is just... And poor James Lowe doesn't know what to do. Liston is a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, and you know, that's the thing too. That's one thing that Shane does not want is a yellow, though. You know, here's the thing. Now that Lowe finally took to the inside, he might want that yellow now because that means that he'll go to the inside of any restart we have. Move James Lowe to second. Here comes Weininger looking to the inside of Todd Liston as well.
Indeed, Weininger having one of the best races of his career as he moves underneath, looking really good. Darrell Cheese and Weininger working on the back of Todd Liston. And then you got Cucumber Kurt Smith. You know, when I went to school, her name was Lori Whitcup. She was a B-plus student. She wasn't all that attractive. She never spoke up in class. Just a steady student, never got a lot of attention. That's who Kurt Smith reminds me of. Just that steady student in elementary school that doesn't cause trouble and always gets a good grade. I hope Lori
if you remember
is watching.
I remember if you remember last season, that's how he won his championship. As cars are getting wiggly there, coming off a turn number 4, and it looks like that Steve Hilbert is one of the ones who's really starting to see those rear tires go away. Look at Weininger already going up into 3rd place. He's going to bring Kurt Smith with him through turn 4 as Liston trying to do all he can to hold on to that shopping cart where 3 of the wheels are straight and 1 of them's wobbly.
Indeed. Adam Shane right now needs Weinerker to get on the gas to get up there, because James Lowe's going to be a little easier to keep behind him, but he also has to worry about a little bit of Weinerker maybe doing something. Right now, James Lowe has it all his own way. He can play around, he can try different racing lines, he can drift, he can peek, he can poke, he can pry, and just Adam Shane just doing his best to save his stuff and cover the inside like wall-to-wall carpet is the plan for Adam Shane.
Well, hopefully he has the kick plates and everything, because you got to keep it down and secure as the double deuce trying to hold on to position between he and Altice for that 9th spot. Slides just a little high off of turn number 2, but still Ruben Altice doing all he can to get 1 spot higher in that top 10. Has the nose out front coming off of turn number 4 as we have a 2/3 of the race gone already.
And just big picture talking, Chris Davis had a little bit of an issue earlier on. He's trying to make it up if he can, but right now, the man who sits 2nd in points is just buried back in, 12th spot. Good racing going on behind the 14 of Shane right now, and then here comes, the 11 of Brendan Myers making a peek at it, the 14 of Feemster having a nice run.
Yeah, Feemster having a great run as well. And that's another name we really haven't mentioned too much. And also, Steve Hilbert in 8th spot so far as he tries to rub onto Ruben Altice through 1 and 2. Knocking him, rubs onto the wall just a little bit harder. That's going to give Altice a chance to get up to the top spot. By the way, if the race were to end now, your provisional pole sitter, that's the Canadian Goose, John Wilson.
Good racing going on. How important is practice time, you may ask? Can we quickly look at the 45 of Electric Boots, Benny Ellison? I really thought Benny was going to have a good run right now, but boy, he's done nothing. Just back there, sitting in 16th. Maybe he ran into some trouble. He's going to make a pass right now. Let's stay on it till we watch this pass. Go get him, rookie.
Well, and to be fair as well, he's only up, 3 spots from his grid spot. So, I mean, better than the sharp stick of the eye.
Indeed. So we set the table for you. You got a 2-car battle up in front. Adam Shane, James Lowe. And we talked about it in the opening. If James Lowe, even if he doesn't win, he's got to have a bad race, and he just doesn't have them.
Well, we can say it's a rabbit's foot that he has attached to a steering wheel on his sim, because really all he does is win, and if not, he's on the podium. But nonetheless, he is running the same lap times as Adam Shane here as we close out this 100-lapper at Southern National Speedway. This is the battle for the lead, not too far away. You've got a battle for 3rd place between Darrell Weininger and Kurt Smith, and then a big battle from 5th on back, Feemster, all the way back to really the rest of the field.
Now, I'm supposed to keep things honest and play things fair here, but I'll be honest with you, I believe Kurt Smith doesn't like to do post-race interviews, and we haven't talked to Darrell Weininger for a long time, so, all things being equal, if it's okay with Cucumber Kurt, you can just let Darrell get that 3rd spot. I wouldn't mind talking to him.
Well, we'll see what happens here as the defending champ tries to make his way into that bottom step of the podium, as now Brennan Myers moves inside of Liston, gets that 6th spot, as Liston trying to do all he can from just falling all the way down to the field after darn near getting junkyard there in that 2nd caution.
Yeah, things have truly gone south for the 87, and here comes Ruben Altice going to try to get underneath there. They touch, and they straighten each other out. Liston continues to saw on the wheel. Do we get a yellow? No. It's the 7 around?
Yeah, the 7 is around. Chris Davis with another caution here.
trying to go under the Chief and just kind of drifted up into him. Well, there's an inside line and there's an outside line. And some people have a hard time seeing where the difference lies. Okay, I'm going to try this. Let's see if we can dial up the 15 of Daryl Weiniger. Daryl, it's Soup. You have a copy? Oh, that's too bad. We haven't talked to him in so long. You know, we caught him by surprise. I was going to ask him if he had anything for the guys in front, and he was going to tell me, yeah, Soup, I do. I've been saving my stuff. Those guys have had to work real hard. Watch me. I'm going to force the issue as soon as we go green. Look me get down in there and see if he can steal this win. All right, good luck, Daryl. Daryl also wanted to say what a fine job that both Jeremy and Soup and Lowell Jewell are doing here in the booth of VGN. We thank you for that compliment. We do the best we can.
Best we can with the available resources we have. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, if they only knew how untalented we were, they would be impressed by the percentage of quality we get from what we've got.
I'll say the fall from grace from top level sports car racing is pretty big, and I'm still licking my wounds after that. Adam Shane, James Lowe, row 1, Daryl Wattinger, Kurt Smith, row 2, Kyle Feemster, Brendan Myers, row 3. Pace car lights are off. We'll see that Mustang take that hard left onto the front stretch pit road, and it'll be Adam Shane's restart to call. And indeed, he takes it. Green flag is out.
No!
And already we've got 3 cars spinning. Yellow's back out. Cautions, precautions tonight.
The rookie Feemster involved in that one. I don't think he had anything to do with it. Brendan Myers, Kurt Smith did not get going. Myers gets into the back of Smith. Then it's a ping pong. Boink, boink, boink. Ruben Altice gets in the back of Myers, spins him off to the inside. He caroms off Todd Liston and Feemster. Feemster then goes up to the top, collects Ruben Altice. Oh, that was a mess.
Well, that's what we call schmozzle, as Shane has one more chance to get out in front of James Lowe with another restart here in just a couple of laps.
Well, that's going to shake things up a little bit. It did not involve the man we just spoke to on our interview, Daryl Weiniger. He stays in third. Now, they're still scoring Kurt Smith in fourth, but I don't think that's going to be the way it is when they come around here. Let's see. No, I guess Kurt, they're going to give him fourth. Brendan Myers now moving up into fifth. Ah, the racing gods. There was a little bit of a disagreement on racecraft between Adam Shane and Brendan Myers over the last 7 days, and now they are just separated by one car.
I think we're waiting on a wave around for Chris Davis as well. And there we get it.
Davis happy to get that one.
Field pairing up once again with Shane in row 1, Weininger and Smith row 2. Pace car will be pulling off. You see the green flag out early. It will be Adam Shane's restart call. He gets a much better jump this time by. Green flag is back underway. 1 to 2 car length separates himself from the points leader as we've got 2-3 wide action near the back of the pack.
Myers underneath Smith right now. Meanwhile, look at this. Adam Shane hitting his mark. Smooth as a bikini wax is Adam Shane. Just trying to protect the inside. Does not let the car drift up. Takes it down in. He's sacrificing time for real estate. Cover that inside. Great drive off of 4 for Lowe, but he's not going to do it. Right now, Adam Shane turning on the reggae music, telling James Lowe, if you want to pass me, you're going to have to do it high.
Well, nonetheless, we did see that Kurt Smith fell back about 3 spots. He was battling with Brendan Myers for that 4th spot. And once again, you see James Lowe closing in on Adam Shane. And it's not going to work if Shane is running low. It's going to be like, what's that game? I forgot the game you play when you're a kid with Either way, it's going to be a low pass.
Hopscotch, tiddlywinks. Did I get it? One of those. Working lap number 96. Go
Limbo.
ahead,
Limbo. That's what it is.
Limbo. Okay.
Shane, though. Shane has the advantage off of turn number 4. He's going to try and make it 3 in a row with keeping James Lowe out of victory lane. He wants to do it, but Soup, it's going to be tough for Lowe. He's going to look to the outside.
For Lowe, it's a case of risk versus reward. He wants to get the win, but he knows he's in the points. Oh, no, we got a caution, which is going to mean we're going to have a green-white checker. This is Weinerker and the 14 of our rookie Kyle Feemster involved in it. Oh, this one does not look good.
Oh, boy.
Pittsburgh painted car there as he drifts up.
Nope.
Feemster had to put the car
more spinning
somewhere.
than a terrible towel to the Pittsburgh game.
It's simulated racing, but the car still has to be somewhere, and Feemster put it as high as he could. Well, that's going to happen. The tires are old, and it's hard to keep the car down. And that's why we gave you the rules package when we started this race. We are working on lap number 99, which means we're going to have ourselves a green-white checker. And you haven't lived, if you have not heard my partner, Jeremy Gridlock Scott, call a green-white checker. Here's how it works, folks. There's a green flag, then there's a white flag, and then there's a checkered flag. That's really all you need to know.
And we only do it once. Just once.
Yeah, so it's really a shame with you on the mic because it's like, you know, you go to a good concert and they only give you one encore. That just doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. But you know what? It could be worse. Could be a lot worse. We could be here all night long. All night. All night long. All right.
There's rumors they're cutting the mic. Come on, Lionel Richie was busy there. All right, go to it.
Anyway, James Lowe and Adam Shane are on the front row. It will be Adam Shane's restart to call, and Wadding and Myers within striking distance should either of these two mess up. Pace car is off, green flag is out. Adam Shane gets the advantage. He doesn't get too far away from James Lowe as they work their way around turns 1 and 2. Brandon Myers has the nose out front. Lowe's going to look to the inside, not going to make anything happen as Shane shuts the front door on him. Coming through turn number 4, Lowe gets a better launch. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Little bit of touching there between the 99 and the 79, but Adam Shane opens up that 1 car length gap, and this may be Shane's race to win as James Lowe does all he can. Checkered flag is out. Adam Shane is your winner. James Lowe second. Double Deuce Bruce is in third.
There was a ton of nonsense going on behind the two guys out in front. They were banging, they were spinning, they were turning, they were straightening each other out, and when it was all said, Bruce Pearson ducked underneath and picked himself up a podium. Well done for Double Deuce Bruce. Oh my goodness, that was a fun one. It wasn't wire to wire, but it was close for Adam Shane. The racing's over. We'll take a short break. We'll come back and run down the finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Who you watching? That's the Virtual Grip Network, baby.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Southern National Motorsports Park. It's the Virtual Grip Network's live as it happens seventh round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model Invitational Series. You know, it's their 32nd season, and it was round 7, and the results are in. Let's give them to you now. This was a good one. We started with a nice field of 19 drivers. Now, leading the last 53 laps was Adam Shane. He started on the outside of row 1, raced up front the whole time, gets the win. He had the points leader and former champion James Lowe right behind him, but Lowe could not get around him at the end. Some great defensive driving by Shane. James Lowe will have to settle for second. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson somehow was able to sneak his way through all the chaos that was going on behind the front two. He's going to vulture himself a third position. My goodness, it's a good day in Plain City, Ohio for both the former police chief and their former mayor, Tom Hilbert, going 4th and 5th tonight. That is the best combined results for the Hilbert brother since they imprisoned Galileo. In 6th spot is Brendan Myers. Benny Ellison going to be in 7th position. Nice run from him. Alan Wanamaker will have to settle for 8th. The last two rounding out your top 10. Well, it's the man who started the race in 2nd in the points, Chris Davis, with the Lipper, Chris Hayslip.
Hey, Kyle Feemster in 11th, Todd Liston in 12th. The Canadian Goose will start next week on the polls. He finishes 13th. Ruben Altis 14th. The other one here in Kurt Smith, all involved in that last lap melee. They'll finish off 14th and 15th. Then it is out of the race, Jeffrey Harden, Mark Herzog, and replay Ryan Seneker.
With that said, we get the honor of talking to our race winner. He is Adam Shane. Let's dial him up right now. He spent 53 laps out in front, but none of them harder than the last ones there, especially on that green-white checker. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you much.
Probably did not want that green-white checker at the end. Maybe feeling a little more comfortable before that?
I did, but I knew Lowe was coming. I mean, he is so hard to keep behind you. He's a beast.
Tell us, just because I want to know, were you driving with your eyes straight, going as fast as you could, or were you sacrificing maybe a little speed to keep the car down low, making sure he didn't get underneath you?
I don't know. I think I had one eye straight and one eye in my rearview mirror, and when I saw him go low that one time, I just went low to cut him off. I had to do everything I could to keep him behind me. Like he's fast.
Well, you know, sometimes the racing guys, you were a little upset with some of the racecraft from some of the other drivers last round. Sometimes the racing gods reward a driver for being out there and just running those laps. You got yourself a win. That's got to make you feel a little better.
Oh, I feel really good. It's been a long time since I actually won, so it feels really good. I mean, it just when I came in tonight, I knew I was starting second, and I figured I would just hang out and just run with them. And then the cautions came out, and I was like, well, I better go now because I saw Lowe coming, and I kept trying to save my stuff, but once I seen Lowe coming, I had to go because he's tough.
It was a good win. Congratulations. I'm glad we got to talk to you in the middle of the race. You told us what the plan was. Well done. We'll see you down the road. Adam Shane, your winner tonight.
Thank you.
Partner, who you got?
Well, let's talk to the second place driver, your points leader, James Lowe. And man, I thought you had it there near the end, but some hard racing there in the middle stages of the race. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. It was fun.
Well, let's talk about that final green-white checker. Both you and Adam Shane, you were giving each other an inch, but somebody had to get to the front.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing everything he had to do to win the race, and he had an awfully nice guy behind him. So, yeah, it was just a good run by him. He did everything he was supposed to do, and I come out of here gaining some points, so that's always good. And yeah, we'll move on.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gain a bit of a cushion there in the point standings, and next week you try and it's weird for me to say this. You try three race victory lane drought in spite of your worst finish, only being third. What's it going to take to win?
I mean, I don't know. You keep on putting yourself in these spots, and they come. But you can't sit around and worry about it. You just got to go run the race and see what happens.
Well, either way, a fantastic run out of you. Congratulations. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my Aunt Mary Alice for always coming in here and watching. You guys for broadcasting. I can't wait to watch it back, and Lowell for putting all this on.
Your second place finisher in the number 99 Sim Lab. Camaro, congratulations.
All right. I got Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. We'll dial him up. Bruce, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Good evening. How you guys doing tonight?
Well, very good. Sometimes you're never one when bad luck is about to be dished out. It seems like the 22 always gets its fair share of it. But tonight, things worked out for you. The green-white checker, you start in 8th, and somehow you vault to yourself a third-place finish.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was very lucky tonight. That next to last caution, I think it's about 20 laps to go. I got in the back of Todd, and I'm really terrible on restarts, and so I felt really bad about that. But I did go back and look at the replay, and there are some guys on the outside that got into each other, and one came down into Todd. So I still felt bad about getting into him, but I felt better that I didn't cause that, and I did get lucky on that last one. I was slowed way up because I was head for the inside wall, and then all of a sudden everything cleared up, and I was in the wrong gear, but I just kept it floored and was lucky enough to be on the inside line. So yes, you were right, Soup. I had some good luck tonight.
Hey, now I want you to correct me if I'm wrong about this, because I just looked from up here in the press box and we watch your race. I thought earlier on, I've always thought that you are very good at just being patient and waiting and even sacrificing a good starting spot to be competitive later. Tonight, I thought you were more aggressive than you usually are early. Was that the case, or was I just misreading what was happening?
No, you're calling it right, just like you called it last week. I'm trying to get a little bit more aggressive and learn how to save my tires at the same time. Usually I lay way back and save them, but man, these guys are so tough. It's hard to get back up through them. So I'm just trying to stay faster and save my tires at the same time.
Well, it's fun to watch. You had a lot of fun. Great job. And you got a little bit of good luck spread your way. You needed that one. They still owe you a few more of those, but well done. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you, guys. Just want to say thank you to the folks that are on my car, Mission 22, and the American Pitbull Foundation for all that they do for our veterans. Veterans Day was just a few days ago. So shout out to all our men and women in the armed forces. And of course, Lowell for the great job he does with the league. And as always, you guys up in the booth. Thank you so much.
See you down the road. Well done. All right. Well, there you have it. That's most of our broadcast now. But before you go, we're going to turn it over to my partner because he's a professional. He actually gets paid in real life to do this. So he's going to take us home.
Well, I didn't know we were doing jams on the Kennedy, the Eisenhower, but next week we are at South Boston Speedway. Yeah, next week already. Holy cow. Then Tuesday, the Triple Bypass League is going to be at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway with Thanksgiving Thunder. I'll be alongside J.R. Shepard Monday, November 24th, 7:55 Eastern is the time for that. And gotta say, it's great to see the Double Deuce up in third. And by the way, congratulations to the GOAT John Force on retirement. So for all of us here at Virtual Grip Network, my partner Bill Soupzon, Lowell Jewell turning the knobs and pushing the sliders in the smoky control room. My name is Jeremy Scott. Remember, keep it pointed forward, keep it between the ditches, and always keep it greasy side down. We'll see you next time here on the Virtual Grip Network.